So you're thinking about moving to Colorado Springs and you've probably heard a lot about the weather here. Well, we are here to break it all down for you and more importantly, what to expect as a homeowner when it comes to Colorado Springs weather.
Our unpredictable spring to our sunny yet sometimes stormy summer will help you navigate it all.
That's right. Living in Colorado Springs means that you need to be prepared for all 4 seasons, and it's not just about grabbing a jacket or sunscreen. We're going to talk about all the essentials and homeownership tips that you need to know.
If you're thinking about buying or selling a home in Colorado Springs, reach out to us. We'll help you like we've helped all kinds of other people from all over the country make our city your new home.
So to kick off, I think it's only fair to start about spring because that is the season that we are currently in. Or if you're me, I like to call it fake spring. Fake spring means that last week it was in the high 60s and sunny every single day. And unfortunately, this week we're dipping down into the 30s and we are expecting snow at least 3 days this week. Because of these drastic weather changes, there's a few things that are going to be important for you as a homeowner that you need to know.
First thing, don't start your gardening too early. We've all been there. It's warm, sunny, you get out all of your stuff and you start to plant your garden and then our temperatures drop. They go below freezing and all of that hard work that you just put in will kill your plants and your garden and everything else.
In addition to that, do not rush to set up your sprinkler systems. I can't tell you how many people I know that I see out there in late March or early April and their sprinkler systems are going, and then come April or May, we get another freeze and it crushes your pipes. You're having to dig out the sod and you're having to replace piping. It's just a pain in your butt. So be smart, wait until probably May. If you have to water your lawn, which I would recommend, just do it with a regular garden hose and make sure that you unplug it at the spigot so you don't have any further freezing damages.
And when you're kind of looking through to, I think in the spring, a big tip is to check your plumbing because you turn on your sprinklers or you turn on your water for the spring and summer and then you winterize it, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but you forget to kind of make sure that there were any cracks. And I will tell you one of the biggest things, or not biggest things, but one of the things that we always see on an inspection report is a bib hose is broken and leaking. And so it's super important that when we do have nicer weather in our spring, definitely check your plumbing, your faucets and everything outside just to make sure that you didn't have any freezing.
So if you're planning on buying a home in Colorado Springs, make sure to reach out to us so that we can help you find a property that fits all your needs and also forewarn you about all of these things that you need to know with our drastic temperature changes.
Now let's talk about summer. Summer in Colorado Springs can be absolutely stunning here. Perfect for all those outdoor activities like we've talked about in our previous videos. But it's also when the temperatures kind of rise and they can stay pretty consistent for the most part.
Even though summer is my favorite season, there's 2 things that I hate about it. Bugs, uncontrollable, it happens everywhere. And secondly is the random hailstorms that we get. Do not be fooled. We get plenty of hail here in Colorado Springs. We got some yesterday. This is late March, very small hail, but in summer we have massive hailstorms. So one thing that I would prep you guys for is to make sure that your garages are cleaned out or that you have an extra parking space to park your vehicles. Make sure that you're up to date on your insurance because hailstorms will absolutely crush your car here. So make sure that you clean out those garages.
Well, and that's a good thing to do in the spring, right? So
yeah.
Like spring cleaning is a thing, go through and get your garage, and which is it's so weird. We're victims that are guilty of it ourselves, but people buy a house with 2-car garage, 3-car garage, even 4-car garages, and they don't park their vehicles in it, but they have so much junk. Like I said, we're guilty of it.
We are.
But spring is a perfect time to kind of go through your garage, get rid of everything that you don't need. If it's been in there for a year and you've never used it, donate it or sell it. But you'll want space for a vehicle so that way when we do get hail that your cars don't get damaged.
Another thing that you guys need to be prepared for, which is kind of odd to hear from other people that are out of state and different areas of the country, is that you don't need air conditioning in Colorado Springs. That is not true whatsoever, especially when you get into like 2-story homes or homes with a basement. you're going to have different temperatures on each level of that home. So you're going to want to make sure that you have a good working air conditioning system, because during summer, when it gets to 90 or even sometimes 100 degrees, you are going to want that air conditioning system working and working properly.
Well, and our heat is different, right? And so do you absolutely need AC? No, I wouldn't say that it's an absolute must. Would I want to live here in Colorado without AC? Absolutely not. Because our climate is different and our weather is different. It's not a Florida hot heat and it's not an Arizona hot heat.
Yeah.
We don't have a ton of humidity. It is a little bit more dry, but it's not like scorching hot. I like to live in comfort. I hate being cold. And so the fair temperature for me is like 70 degrees, but I also don't like to get super hot. So I like to have the AC on. I like to be comfortable. So I would absolutely recommend having AC, but with what that also means is that you should get it serviced every single spring. I'd probably say like the beginning of summer, really, because they want to be able to test all of the fluids and everything in the AC. And so we have vendors that are absolutely amazing that come out and do it super cheap. And they just make sure that all of the fluids, all of the connections, everything is running smoothly. And that way, when it gets super hot, that you're comfortable.
So I'm going to challenge Crystal on that statement, because last summer we were in the process of moving, and there was about a 30-day period of time where, because of the process of moving, we were in a rental situation. That rental situation was a 2-story home without air conditioning. What did we do after about 5 days in that house?
Yeah, we went and stayed in Vegas.
We went on vacation and stayed somewhere else because the house was so hot we couldn't sleep. The bed was also terrible. It had pre-furnishings and things like that, so the bed was very, very uncomfortable. But I would say that a large part of us going on vacation during that period of time was because at night it was so hot we could not sleep. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I definitely I personally love AC, but we've helped a lot of buyers that are like, why would I need AC?
True.
And then they go, and I said, well, go through a summer before you invest in it, right? Go through a summer here and see, because sometimes people that are from Florida or are from California or Arizona, even Texas, they don't necessarily need AC because our hot is not the same hot.
That's true.
So
in addition to that, when I was in the Army and we had pre-deployment trainings during the summer and it was 120 degrees and we had to sleep outside, obviously no air conditioning, you just deal with it. So can you live without AC here in the Springs? Sure. Would I want to? No. And do I think anybody else will want to outside of maybe a few psychos from Arizona where it's 130 degrees? Probably not. So invest in air conditioning. Good news is we have the hookup for you. If you need air conditioning, we got your back. Send us a text or leave us a comment, and we will send you our vendors who we use for air conditioning all throughout Colorado Springs.
Now let's chat about fall. Fall is one of the most beautiful times here in Colorado Springs. Cooler temperatures, super crisp air, and of course, one of my favorites, all the vibrant autumn colors. But fall also means it's time to prepare your home for winter.
One of the first things that we suggest you do as a homeowner when we're switching seasons is now you want to check your heating system, because just like with just like with your air conditioning, you would not want to go into the winter months or the fall months without your heating system working. I can't tell you how many times we've had clients of ours in the past reach out and say, the season's changing and my HVAC isn't working. Well, you kind of have to service it every now and then, so keep that in mind.
And fun fact, you should get your AC or your furnace and your AC really serviced every single year. It just needs to be kind of like an annual maintenance. But you should also replace your furnace filter. And you should do that every single month. Every single month, you guys, not 3, not 8, every single month. And you do not buy the really expensive filters, because what that does is it blocks the air from being able to kind of flow in and out. I'm not an HVAC person, I just know because we've done hundreds and hundreds of inspections and we see this stuff all the time, but it blocks a lot of the air from going in and out of your furnace, and so it will clog it up extremely fast. And if your AC stops working, 9 times out of 10, it's because you have not changed your furnace filter.
AC or furnace?
AC. Remember when ours clogged up?
Just making sure that the viewers know that we're talking about both.
Yes, because the air filter in your furnace, right? That's what we're talking about, in your furnace. also controls your AC. And so you need to get it serviced every single year and get your filter replaced every single month. Buy the cheap ones on Amazon. It's awesome. In and out every single month. Put a reminder on your phone.
Set a reminder in your phone the first of the month. Take that bad boy out, put the new one in, and your stuff will work more efficiently.
Another thing, especially because in our spring and summer we do get hail a lot, a big thing that you want to do is get your roof looked at. Like I said, once a year. A lot of this is going to be just have it on a schedule of once a year. We have a ton of roofing companies that will do a free inspection. RC Construction and Roofing, they are amazing, and they go out to almost every single one of our clients' houses. We want to make sure that there's not hail damage. And if there is hail damage, you want to get a claim in right away, but you also don't want to do a claim until you have heard from a roofer that something is wrong. Now, one thing that's big here, not talking about weather, but is solicitation. Do not use a person that comes to your door that says, hey, I want to give you a free roof inspection, right? Give us a call, whether you've been our client or not. If you need a legitimate, honest roofing company, send us a DM, give us a call, and we will put you in contact with 3 of our amazing roofers that we use all the time that will not screw you over. They're not going to just try to get an insurance claim and get that money, right? If there's not enough damage for a claim, they're honest and they tell you about that. But if there is, and it's a needs to have a claim, they're going to tell you, they're going to work through your insurance company and help you along the way. So definitely get that inspected. You want to get it done every single year so that way you don't have bigger issues.
Yeah, and another reason that we like to do it during this time of the year is because it is in preparation for the fall and winter months where the snow starts to come. If you inspect your roof before the snow starts to come and we happen to get 6, 8, 12 inches of snow, all that extra weight on your roof can start to cause damage. Then the sun's going to come out, it's going to melt the snow, and we don't want you to have any roof leaks or anything crazy like that. So it's a good time now. There's several good times because of our weird, crazy weather that we have here in Colorado Springs. But if you need help with your roof or if you need a contact, we got your back. Shoot us a text or leave us a comment and we're happy to help.
Now, let's chat about winter in Colorado Springs. Not Sean and I's favorite.
Nope. My least favorite of all the seasons.
It is absolutely gorgeous.
It is.
Our mountains have all of the snow on it. It's so pretty, but
we're just over the cold.
We're just over it, right?
We're both natives. We want sunny and 75 every day. Call us crazy. But that's just where we're at in our lives. But we still do enjoy Colorado winters because it doesn't necessarily have to be -5 every.
No.
And because of the way that the temperatures kind of stagger, after a few weeks of 40 degrees, you'll see us in t-shirts and shorts, or at least me.
Yeah, not me.
But I'll be wearing t-shirts and shorts again.
Well, and I think too, the big thing when it comes to being a homeowner in having your home in the winter is that it's super important to get your pipes winterized.
For sure.
And a lot of people don't do that. That's why people have broken hose bibs and they'll have not crawl space, but basement or crawl space leaks because they did not winterize their sprinkler system. We have a contact that does it super cheap, and he'll make sure that, all of the water is out of those pipes because it does get freezing cold here. Now, the good thing is that the next day it's probably like 60 degrees and the snow melts, but you don't want that. You don't want your pipes to freeze because it will be such a big ticket if that does happen, if your basement floods, your crawl space floods. And a lot of times people don't, because here in Colorado, we do have basements. Basements are super, super common, or crawl spaces, where I know in a lot of other places, basements and crawl spaces are not a thing. Your home is on a complete slab. It's different here in Colorado. But a lot of times people will not winterize their pipes and they'll have a leak or they'll have a pipe burst and they won't know it. And then the water starts to leak, and it could be a slow leak. And then guess what happens with water and moisture? Mold. And you don't know about it. And it can just cause so much damage, and it could just be super expensive. So definitely winterize your sprinklers.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Last winter, I posted, we had this crazy freeze coming. And so I posted on my Facebook page that these are some tips to be prepared for the winter. And I had some negative person comment and say, if you live in Colorado Springs, you should already know how to prepare for the winter. But the reality is that we have people here from all over the country, from warm climates, that don't know about certain things. One of the things that we recommend our clients do, especially when it gets really cold, and it sounds super silly, but is to open the doors underneath your faucets so that those pipes can have the ambient room temperature air, because if they're closed off, they could get a little bit colder, they can freeze, and you can have bigger problems. In addition to that, you want to make sure that your windows and that your doors are sealed and properly sealed, I should say, especially if you're buying an older home with older windows installed or single pane or something crazy like that. You will want to make sure that those are inspected and properly working, because you will lose tons and tons and tons of heat through those gaps, and then your bills are going to go through the roof. So just another thing for the winter time, especially again, if you're coming from a warm climate and you've never had to deal with some of these things, reach out to us and we can send you our checklist on how to properly winterize your home, because there are several things that you should be doing that even those of us who have lived here for 5, 10, or even more years are still not doing. And then unfortunately, they have big problems that cost big money, and it's not good for anybody involved.
Well, and I can think of one too that's so silly, and it's literally like a $10 Home Depot part, right? Most of this stuff to help prevent a bigger ticket item is super affordable, but weather stripping on doors, go through your doors at night and have someone go outside and shine a flashlight around your door frame. If you can see said light, you need to fix your weather stripping, or you need to fix your door, right? Because that allows so much air into it, which means that your heat bill is going to just be 10 times higher, and or your AC bill has been 10 times higher, because you're literally trying to control all of the different temperatures, but you have a huge leak and you don't know about it. And it's like a $10, $15 part at Home Depot. So definitely check your windows, your doors. And then the other thing that we realized when we thought we were moving out of state and then we decided to stay here is make sure that we're updated on all of your snow equipment.
So last winter, same time frame, when the big freeze came, we had given away all of our snow shovels and things like that. And we were caught in a very early, very large snowstorm with no winter preparation whatsoever. There was, I think, over 18 inches of snow over the course of just a couple days, and you could not buy a snow shovel anywhere in Colorado Springs. So make sure that you are prepared with that. Snow blowers, if you want to get crazy and fancy, could you use it? Sure, of course you can. How often? Maybe not so often. We don't get crazy snowstorms like that very much, but it's always a cool tool to have, especially if you're a dad and you want to just have cool stuff. But yeah, ice melt and other things, just make sure that you're prepared. Flashlights, blankets, candles even.
Yeah.
You don't often have power outages due to crazy snowstorms, but it can happen. It's better to be prepared than not.
For sure. So you guys, there you have it. Each season in Colorado Springs comes with its own challenges and rewards. With a little preparation, and if you need, give us a call, we can help. You can enjoy all the benefits of living here without being caught off guard.
Yeah, being a homeowner in Colorado Springs has some challenges, but as long as you're prepared and you know what you're getting into, you can thrive and have no problems whatsoever. You do need to be prepared though, especially if you're looking at purchasing an older home, to look for these certain things that can cause problems later on down the line. So if you need help looking for a home in the Colorado Springs area, be sure to reach out to us, 719-238-1771. Leave us a comment below. And what do you guys think about the Colorado Springs weather? Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you guys think?
What are you most excited about if you're moving here to Colorado? What do you have questions about? Give us any of those below and maybe we'll do a video on it.
Yep. We'll see you guys in the next one.